A couple quick things. I was hoping he'd be here today, and I'm sorry he's not because he's such a great booster of ours, but I wanted to mention that Scott Burns was recently honored as the Outstanding Oregon Scientist for the year 2014. And I don't know if all of you had heard that, but it's quite an honor. He received the honor last Saturday night from the Oregon Academy of Science. I don't know a lot of the details about it, but certainly a well-earned honor for him. Very respected man in the community and around Portland State, and a great supporter of ours. So congratulations to Scott Burns. And while congratulations are still in order, I'm going to mention these two young people here today, skewing the age demographic. Hallie and Rylan, 5 years old today? Hey! Congratulations. Go ahead, go back to your food. The old people are talking. Okay. So congratulations to them. Women's tennis team has won a couple matches. They beat Northern Arizona. It was yesterday, right? Yesterday, okay. For the first time ever. So they're off to a great start. Men's and women's tennis competing regularly right now, getting into conference play. The women's golf team has started competition today, believe it or not. I checked the temperature. It's 70 degrees in Santa Ana, California. That's where they are. So that was a good move. They're right now in the middle of their first round play. They play today and tomorrow. And you can follow along. I know all of you check your computers for the live scoring at golfstat.com. You can actually follow live scoring there for the next 2 days. They have been picked to win the Big Sky Conference this year. So we're real excited about the start of their season. Men's basketball tonight. The men play at Eastern Washington. I would like to say it's a big Dam Cup game, but we've already won the Dam Cup, so that's great. But we're very excited about getting a victory in men's basketball over Eastern Washington, as well as women's basketball tonight. So on the road and at home, we play Eastern Washington. The men also play this week Thursday at North Dakota, Saturday at Northern Colorado. Moving right along, we'll get right to track now since Ronnye has a schedule to keep. The Big Sky Conference Indoor Track and Field Championships are this weekend in Pocatello, Idaho, and I can't think of a better way to spend 5 days, but in Pocatello. I'm glad Ronnye gets to do it instead of me, but for him it's going to be great because the team has had a tremendous indoor season. They've set 4 school records. They've had 22 qualifying marks, I believe is correct, for the indoor meet. And they are poised to have an excellent weekend at the Indoor Championship. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce, in his 6th season at Portland State, head track and field coach Ronnye Harrison.
All right, so I'm going to get up here and tell you right now, I'm extremely excited about what's about to go down this week in Idaho. Pocatello is a fine place for the track indoor facility, but the rest of it is like Mike said. But we are heading to Pocatello on an extreme high with a freshman class that has been like no other since I've been here, and also in terms of how cohesive they are and how well they get along. And that's a rarity, especially in women's track, that you can have 6 or 7 young ladies all brand new and they get along like family in any sport. Okay, but we are leading the conference in the 400, open 400. Whitney Diggs is from Seattle. She is number 1 in the conference and has been number 1 in the conference since the first indoor meet. We are leading the conference in the long jump. Bailey Sims, also from Seattle, has been leading the conference all year long in the long jump. We're in the top 5 in the other categories of events, the open 60, the 60 hurdles. We are actually 2 and 3 in the 60 hurdles, and in the triple jump, we're in the top 5 in the triple jump. So going to this first indoor meet on the women's side, I'm excited because I believe that we're predicted 4th, and we were predicted 4th last year at outdoors when we took 2nd. We were predicted 4th or 5th the previous indoor season when we also took 2nd. And so for the last 3 years, we have been in 2nd when we were predicted 4th or lower in the rankings. So I'm really excited about it. We have some outstanding young men. As you may or may not know, men's track and field is very difficult here at Portland State for various reasons, most of them financial. So we have to work and find workhorses in that sport. But Casey Kabisiak, he's going to be featured in one of the stories and I think it's an outstanding feature because this is a young man that's from Newburgh High School that had double ACL surgery on the same leg. So I redshirted him, and now he's in the top 4 in this conference in the 60 meters, and I'm really excited for Casey because he's come a long way. Sheldon Prince is from Aloha High School. He's in the top 5 in like 60, it's top 5 or 6 in 3 events, the 60, the 200, and the 400. So if you're not keeping up with track and field, please follow this weekend at Idaho State because we're doing some outstanding things. We have high GPA scores, and I'm so glad that I never have to have those conversations anymore. And it was a bit of a struggle when I got here, but those things have leveled off very well. Okay, on the outside of that, another exciting moment. I don't know how many of you remember Jerron Black, but Jerron is the 60 and 100 meter was the 60 and 100 meter champion 7 times during her reign here at Portland State. She is now an assistant coach for me. She's doing an outstanding job there, but the thing that no one knows is Jerron Black will be leaving here next week after we return from the conference championships to go to Sopot, Poland, because she also qualified to run for Trinidad's national team at the World Indoor Championships. She's one of 3 athletes since I've been here that have gone to World Indoor or Outdoor Championships. And so if you see her or if you got an email address or need an email address, I think it would be really great to continue supporting her as she works as becoming a young coach and continues her professional career in track and field. You know, in this sport, if we have more support like that, where there's more types of meets, it actually can free up because University of Washington is right now the only indoor facility pretty much on the West Coast. And all the schools gather there, and the junior colleges and unattached athletes every weekend, and it can get really crowded in those meets. So if there are more meets, more variety of meets, more types of meets, I think it can only serve to advocate for the sport in a much better and much brighter light, and give folks a chance. You know, early on, I want to say, too, in 2016, the World Indoor Championships are going to be in Portland. That is monumental because I believe the last time that the World Indoor Championships were in the United States was 1987. And the fact that we got them, and I live in the Lloyd District, so the World Championships are actually only about 300 meters from my apartment. So I will be there. We will all be there. And I'm asking in advance to support that, and I believe what's going to happen is there'll be build-up meets before the actual championship so they can learn how to make things work, in which case that we might want to continue to see if we can have Portland State indoor season during that time at the center where it's going to be held, at the convention center, and sort of advocate for that. Right now, I would say the biggest thing that this city needs, and Portland State is a part of that, is we need an indoor track facility. We need to be able to expand this sport because the school is doing a fine job. You know, I've been here, this is the 6th year, and I've seen nothing but things just moving up in track and field. You know, but we need a lot of support here. I don't know if any of the boosters here are specifically track. I would think not. That's okay. We got to expand that, though, because we have a lot of support. And now that we have these 4 or 5 freshman athletes that are outstanding athletes from the Seattle area, there's a room to really build our base. When I was in New York at the Millrose Games with Jerron, I was surprised at the number of people that came up to me and asked about Portland State track and field. You know, and some of them are alumni as well. And I think that we have to work to reach out and find former athletes, former administrators, and you know, as well as people who just went to school here, and grab them. I think he's doing an outstanding job to try to expand the name of this school. One of the things that I see every time we go to a track meet at Sac State is in Sacramento, with all the schools they have in California, in Sacramento, the school that is most touted is Sac State. And we have to work on that here as a athletic department, as boosters and alumni, to do the same thing with Portland State. Because the school, the name is not what it should be, for the amount of work that's being put in with the coaches in the athletic department.
It's to see that we were able to host Big Sky last spring.
Yes.
Even though we had to go to Forest Grove to do it, it was nice to have it here, because I don't think it's ever been here in my time.
Absolutely. It hasn't ever been here, and it was an outstanding meet. It's amazing that I'm at a luncheon, because one of the things that has constantly come up with other coaches, they ask when we go host meet again, not just for the meet, but, and this is with him, it was also when Barb was here. We have the best coaches dinners ever. You know, and at that meet that we had at Forest Grove hosting the conference championship, I got more compliments about how that meet was ran and the organization, and that speaks very highly of our athletic department and Rick McReynolds and all the people involved in putting those things together. Having never had any experience here, now in my 6th year, I've hosted conference championships in cross country and outdoor track, and it's exciting because the crowds was wonderful. We had the best weather that I think we probably had this whole year during that week. And the meet went exceptionally well. We also took second, and that helped. You know, we want to host it again. We'd like to try and work to host that meet even closer to town. You know, Forest Grove was very gracious, and we're really thankful for Coach Boyle and all those folks out there. But we'd like to try and find a way to host it close to town. One of the things in the works is to eventually host icebreaker, meaning early spring meet at Lincoln High School, just so that the folks here in town can come out and see Portland State run. Thank you.
Where's going to be was that going to be in the Moda Center, the indoor track meet?
No, it's going to be at the Oregon Convention Center.
Okay. Because, you know, back in the 80s, well, it was an annual event at that time, Memorial Coliseum.
Absolutely. I ran in those meets myself. I ran in those meets. But the Coliseum structurally is too small to accommodate a 200-meter track in all the ways that they're trying to set that up without tearing up a lot of stuff. And so I know that has been looked at for a while. The convention center, I think, is a very good venue, but it can't stay up the whole season. It's ironic because they just had the U.S. indoors in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that is hosted at their convention center. And we go to 2 meets in New Mexico ourselves during the season. I look around at how that's set up, and I see the same thing as possible for Portland. But I do know that having an indoor facility in this city will improve track and field, will highlight the Portland State name and logo and brand a lot more. So I'm available to be a part of any organization that's going to try to keep that track in the city once it comes here in 2016.
All right. Great to hear from Ronnye. Very excited, and wish them all the luck this weekend in Pocatello. And we'll move along here and talk a little bit about softball, which gets us to our athlete of the week. And I'm very excited to introduce this young lady to you, like the athletes you've met throughout the year. She's very talented as a softball player, no question about it, but she's also very talented as a student. She's a 2-time academic all-conference honoree, a junior on the softball team. And I can tell you right now, Aubrey Nitschelm is leading the team in hitting, batting .345 on the season. She has 10 RBIs in 10 games, which is an excellent total. And I'm going to let her come up here and just say a few words to you and answer any questions you may have. Aubrey Nitschelm.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Aubrey Nitschelm, and I'm a junior. I play right field for the Vikings. I'm a general science major, and I'm minoring in elementary education. I grew up in Redmond, Oregon, and I went to Redmond High School. Yeah, you did. That's awesome. I actually grew up working on a reindeer ranch. If you didn't know, reindeer are real. And so I chose to go to Portland State because I wanted to experience the city, and I've absolutely loved it. It's been great for me. And I have had a wonderful time this season so far. I really love our team chemistry this year. In our first 10 games, it's been awesome to see the potential we have in all the girls, and I think it's going to be a great season.
Are you a right-hander or left-hander? And also along with that, how much pressure is there now in the younger programs to be promoting left-handed hitters? Because I noticed that's talked about a lot at the national championships, etc.
I am a right-handed hitter and thrower. We have a couple lefties on our team. I think in the past, at least last year, we didn't have someone who was a super quick left-handed slapper that we really looked to. I know our freshman year we had Jenna Crow, who was crucial to our team. And it's nice that we brought in a couple girls this year that have been able to bring that for us. And it's always nice, like having Brittany Hendrickson. She's a left-handed, and she, you know, you have her for power. And I know at least when we're on defense, I feel that it's a little bit more intimidating to see a lefty come up because you don't know what's going to happen sometimes. So.
All right, looking forward to seeing Aubrey play. The Vikings will not be home for another month, about a month from now. They'll finally come home, and that's probably good based on what we see outside right now. But this weekend, softball team will be playing at Cal State Northridge. They play Rutgers in 3 games, I believe it is, and Cal State Northridge twice. The preseason schedule for Portland State softball is rigorous, to say the least, if you're familiar with it. Year in and year out, Portland State is playing top 25 teams, playing in really challenging tournaments, and it's almost like when we get to conference play every year, it's almost a bit of a relief because the conference play tends maybe not to be as strong overall as all the tournaments. But right now, Coach Barb Sherwood is learning a lot about her team, no question about it, and it will make them strong when conference play comes around. So let's now hear from Barb Sherwood.
So far, our season has been interesting, to say the least. So we left on our first trip, and it was during the big snowstorm. We were lucky to get out, but we did. It was already 7 inches of snow in Portland by the time we left, which, you know, obviously never happens in Portland. So that sent us off on our first road trip really well. It took us an hour and a half in the vans to get to the airport, but, you know, Portland Airport handled us quite well. So the second game of the season saw a big high and a big low. We won against Indiana, which is perennially a good team in the Big Ten. And we lost our starting catcher in that game for the season. So she ran into a lady much larger than myself and didn't win that battle and broke both wrists, which I've never seen happen in my history. So we lost Lauren Bliss for the season. All of you guys should know her. She was all conference last year and a really good player. And if anybody knows anything about baseball or softball, that's kind of your quarterback. But, you know, Kayla Norrie is filling in quite well. The team's rallied around her, and she's doing a really good job. The following weekend, we got out of Portland. We landed in San Jose, and we spent the night in San Jose Airport and never got a wink of sleep. If you know San Jose Airport, there's no carpet on the floors, so our kids never slept. We got off the plane, showered and changed within 30 minutes and went to the ball field, and our kids battled like crazy. All weekend long, no sleep, but they played well and they played hard, and we just came up a little bit short. It's been interesting. We keep saying, you know, people keep blaming us, other coaches keep blaming us that we're playing if something unfortunate happens. We blame Portland State because that's what we're doing right now, but our kids are coming out of it. We're becoming solution-oriented and staying exceptionally positive, and you know, our team has a ton of potential. We've put up crazy good numbers, haven't been shut out once. We've scored 3 or more runs in 9 out of our 10 games. We're really, really hitting the ball well. Defensive-wise, we're playing really well. Our pitching is young. We returned 21 innings from a year ago, which isn't very many when you're playing 350. But the kids are growing up fast, and you know, they're working hard and they're working together, and we look forward to doing this the rest of the way. There was a mechanical issue with our plane coming out of here, out of Portland. It never made it to Portland. It got stuck in Utah. The only way that we could get rerouted was to San Jose. The airline said that they would put us up in a hotel, and they did not. And at midnight when we got in, there was obviously no hotels available. So, and plus we didn't have rental cars to be able to get anywhere. So, all of that being said, like I said, the kids are great. They work their tails off, and they have super positive attitudes. And I gave them a deal where they could have 30 seconds of poison, which if they were going to complain about something, their time started then. And they were really great about that too. So.
I have a question. I've not had a chance to follow softball too much yet this year. Losing Anna Bertrand in a lot of pitching, how are you handling your rotation this year? Are you still sorting that out?
Oh, we're 100% still sorting that out. I can say that they're all getting better. I can just say that they're learning on the fly, and we're learning on the fly. And like I said, not much experience returned, and our freshman that came in is also learning that it's a lot different at this level. So, can you imagine your first games being thrown in against Indiana when you're a freshman and you just came off the street playing high school ball? So, she's learning too. Yeah, we're hitting the ball. Our kids have really bought into our system, and we spend a lot of one-on-one time and a lot of five-on-one time, and we're not changing, we're not recreating anything. We're just spending a lot of time, one-on-one, and it seems to be paying off.
You've lost a number of games in the last inning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a lead with you.
Yeah, we're putting up, we're just giving up one more. But like I said, I really do believe that our what we've been through so far and our resiliency has shown in a lot of cases. I believe that our potential is right there. Well, I dare say this team, 1 through 9 hitting is probably one of the best you'll see.
Excuse me. The challenge is on. When Ronnye was up here, and he said Poland, he got the attention of Veronica in the back, just like that. And when Aubrey was up here, and she said reindeer, she got the attention of Hallie and Ryland back there. When Barb said solution-oriented, Dave Hirsch's neck snapped like that. So I'm going to find out from Sherri Murrell what she's going to do to get somebody's attention. I'm sure she's got a keyword or something here. Coach Sherri Murrell is next here in women's basketball. 3 home games this week, the final 3 home games this season. Tonight, Eastern Washington, Thursday, North Dakota, Saturday, Northern Colorado. It is the same as the men, right? I got that right. Okay, good. So a lot of excitement. Saturday will be senior night, or senior day, I should say. So certainly come on out and support the Vikings. We'll also have, after the snowstorm kept them away, the Seattle Seagulls should be coming to games later this week as well. So we have that to look forward to. Right now to talk about women's basketball and drop a keyword on us is Sherri Murrell.
It's always a pleasure to listen to student athletes. I know that we've only been able, because we come, in fact, I have to leave practice early every time to get here, but it's just wonderful because that's really what we're here for. It's just the student athletes. So, Aubrey, I wish you guys good luck this weekend, and we're pulling for you. Got a text from Barb the other day that says, Barb Sherwood, that says, make lemonade, Sherri. 10% is what happens to you, 90% is how you handle it and how you respond to it. Obviously we just continue to, I thought we had Southern Utah really on the ropes. I mean, our kids played really extremely hard. Our guard play has been fantastic. Emily Easom, we had 4, you look at statistics, we had 4 players in double figures. We're scoring 79 points. We shot 59%. But when Allie Brock obviously went down with the ankle, we lost some inside power, and not having her and Angela being our probably our 2 strongest people underneath. They just battled underneath the boards, and they had 20 offensive boards and 19 points off of that, and that was just really the difference in the game. And so, unfortunately, Southern Utah is second team in the conference, and we had them on the ropes. And so it was a kind of a heartbreaker. I was not very happy, obviously, and because I really felt like we had that game. And after the game, Rylan comes up to me and he goes, "Mommy, you won, you won." And I think he was talking about the first half. I said, "Yeah, we won that first half, buddy." But so we should know about Allie probably as we speak. I'm getting texts from our trainer that she's getting X-rays done on her ankle. The first initial X-rays at the urgent care showed that she had a bit of a fracture from the ankle sprain. But it might be one of those things. We're getting a second opinion from a really well-known doctor, foot specialist here in town today, and he's going to take a look at it. And if there's no fracture, it might be one of those things where she just tapes it up and has to deal with the pain. Allie's she's a tough kid. We definitely need her because obviously when we played Eastern and beat Eastern on the road the first time, she was a big factor in that game, and so was Angela. So we're going to need that. But again, like I said, it's what happens. It's 10% of what happens to you. It's how you respond to it. And I really hope those young ladies do a fantastic job of just being winners on the court, making sure that everything they do, body language, everything, just displays that they want to win that game. So Eastern's also in the top echelon of our conference, so it's going to be another tough one. And this conference is crazy. Weber State goes into a 35-game losing streak in conference and then knocks off Idaho State and Montana. So it's just absolutely crazy. It's one of those years where, we used to have tough preseason schedules and we got in conference and it wasn't as tough as preseason. Now it's like our conference is almost as tough as preseason. So good conference, but I'm looking forward to seeing the girls play, and hopefully we'll have the services of Allie tonight. And I don't know if I have a key word, but win is my key word tonight, win.
One out, if Allie's not available, we've seen the men go with lots of guards.
Yeah.
How do you adjust?
We've actually been going with a smaller lineup, and so we'll probably go to that as well. I think we're going to have to use the services of Kara from the volleyball team today and see how she does with it. And maybe I think she's athletic and can get some rebounds. It's just how comfortable she is out there. But we would put Kate Lands into kind of a smaller lineup situation, which we've been going to. I'm really pleased with our offense. I mean, we just are really moving well and getting a lot of good open shots. And I just feel like there's some really good guard play that's helped out of that. Where we're hurting is defensively. We just don't have the woman power underneath the basket, and that's what's been kind of hurting us defensively. And so when we go with that small guard lineup, like Tyler's having a problem, it hurts you in some areas. You can cover it up in some areas, but it hurts you in other areas. And just unfortunately, it's the second year in a row we've had this happen to us. But again, we got to go out there and play hard. And I saw our team do it against Sac State. We had 3 seniors on the bench, and they came together and played hard. And so we have that same opportunity tonight.
I thought your girls played really, really well the other night. That was a really good game.
Yeah.
Never gave up, and they played real hard.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. That's what was so frustrating for me, after the game, because those kids just played their hearts out, and they played really well. I mean, you shoot 59%, and you're doing some really good things, but we got them down to 3 points. Lands misses a free throw. We miss a box out at the end. Underneath the basket. The margin of victory is so thin, and so small, and so you've got to make sure that you just every play and dig deep. But I was really proud of them. That's why it was such a heartbreaker, is that they played so hard and played so well. But Southern Utah, there's a reason why they're up at the top, and they're doing a really good job. They're completely healthy. That's a program that 3 years ago they were just losing like crazy because they had the same thing we did. They had 3 kids out that were top kids, but now they've got a lot of kids back, and so well-coached team, really good coach, and but I was proud of them too, Gary. I thought they played really well, and we hope that same result tonight, just different on the other end, and hopefully Bubba gets it right that we did win. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. I hope to see you tonight.
All right, we're going to take the keyword win. That's a good one to end this on. Thank you, everybody, very much. We'll see you next Monday. Bring a friend if you can. Should be a good luncheon. Thank you very much.